Hey everybody, how you doing? It's a pretty sweet gig. We got Color with us tonight. That's pretty fun. Those guys are great. Thank you for just being great musicians and handsome guys. Jump around on stage. That's a good start tonight. I love nights like tonight. Big inflatables, tons of pizza, a cool band, all your friends, all one place. Man, you can't really beat that. You can't beat that. And so I hope if you haven't been excited yet, and if somehow throwing a sumo person down the aisle back and forth did not get you excited, I hope we can get there. I hope we can take something from tonight. But, tell the person next to you, hey, if you're not excited, you need to get excited now, okay? Tell them. Yeah. Don't tell them anything more than that. That was just a quick line. You're chatting too much. That's a lot. You've gone way off. That's okay. So my name's Landry. I'm really excited to be here tonight. I'm all the way from Vancouver. I know. I'm a city slicker. Say whatever you want to say, but that's where I was born, and that's where I've lived. So, but I love hanging out. I was a part of a church and ran a youth group for a lot of years. And I was telling John, I used to run a night exactly like this night, and it was my favorite night of the year that we did with youth. But I'm here to talk to you guys about going back to school, reaching out, reaching your friends, going and doing. I thought I'd share with you, just as we get going, it has nothing to do with my sermon tonight, a story of me in high school. Is that okay? Is it okay if we just start that? And some of you guys may be thinking, I can't wait to hear what this story has to do with this sermon. It has nothing to do with it. It has absolutely nothing. So when I was in grade 12, okay, who's a senior? Who's in their final year of high school here? Okay, I love that. Okay, it's a great year. I had a friend. His name was Jeff Angus. And Jeff liked to do anything he could to make me mad in history class. And so his thing for history class for me, who loves notes and keeping your binder organized, and the girls out there, highlighters. Okay, you had highlighters for different things, different courses. So Jeff would, every class, rip out a few different pieces of paper from my binder, but not take them out, he'd just keep them there. And that just drives you bonkers, having loose leaf paper. If some of you are like that, you're like, it's already crawling your skin. So all year. And then I love to spin my books and binders on my finger when I walked down the hall. It wasn't a cool thing. I just did it. I don't know why. So I just would walk down the hall and get to class. So all year, this is my most embarrassing high school story, by the way. All year, Jeff had done this, and I didn't really know. So I'm walking down, and as a guy in high school, you want to impress. There's some girls you're crushing on, and you want them to notice you. And I was a senior, and I wasn't dating anyone, and I thought, man, I'm just going to keep, I'm cruising, class is over. And all of a sudden, I'm setting the scene for you here, okay? I'm in the hallway, I'm spinning this book, and papers just start flying. The history, this is my history book, my binder. Years worth of notes just start flying in the air. It's like a movie scene. And I look up, and everything slowed down. Papers just start spinning like this, flying, and I couldn't control it because I'm spinning this book. And then as I start hitting the ground, I start slipping, and people are all stopping and just going, "Oh, this is gonna be great. Landry's this is gonna eat it." So papers are flying in the air, hundreds. I'm not exaggerating because it's like years worth of paper. They're just flying everywhere. I start slipping. I knock over the recycling bin full of pop cans. And as I'm falling on the ground, I look up, pop cans everywhere, pop, juice, all on the ground, and papers are just slowly fluttering on the ground. I'm just lying there. I didn't get up because I was too embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. And then people just laughed at me. People just were like, and then, there's some nice people in school. Some of you may be that nice person that maybe helped me with my papers. Maybe you help people. But that was my worst. And for me, it was like I had lost all. I didn't have the best reputation, but then it was all gone. No, it wasn't gone. But can you just picture that? That was my most embarrassing moment of high school, just lying there and everything was ruined. If you've had worse, I want to hear about it afterwards. So I'm talking about high school tonight. I loved high school. Is there any people that loved do you guys love school at all? Some of you guys? I loved it. Some of you guys may hate it. I just would look forward to going to school every day. I know you're like, man, you're crazy. You're crazy. I didn't do a lot of homework, and that's probably why I liked it a little bit more. But I'm here. I want to talk to you a few serious things tonight, stories aside. I think God really puts us in high school for a reason. He puts us all in the high school you're at, surrounded by all your friends for a reason. Not just to hang out and goof around. I love being goofy. I love hanging out with my buddies. But I think he surrounds you with a particular group of people to reach out and to show your friends who Jesus is. To show your friends the love of God. And I think we all, if you're a Christian, we all have God's love inside us. We've accepted him. We have his light. And, we have this awesome opportunity. Your leaders will tell you there's no better place to reach out to people than in high school because you're trapped together every day. There's no other place like it. Leaders, am I right that you've graduated? There's no other place. High school, you have to go back because your parents are making you, and your friends are going to be there 100% unless they're sick. So they have no choice yet to hear about God from you every day. And after high school, that never happens again. University, kind of, but then it's all chaotic. You're not in the same class as everyone. But high school is this amazing place where we can share who God is, his love to other people. We're going to pull up the first verse. It's from Luke 11:33. It says, "Don't hide your lamp," or why would you hide it? Should we just read it out together? "No one lights a lamp and then hides it or puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where its light can be seen by all who enter the house." Pretty much, why would we, if we know God, we know his love, why would we cover that up when we walk into school? I can use my own life as an example. When I used to go to high school, as soon as I'd enter the door, it was done. I didn't walk in. I'd kind of leave my faith behind. Does that make sense to a few of you? As soon as I walked into high school, into school, the whole God factor of my life, and I was a Christian, I kind of leave behind. But it was the perfect place to reach out to my friends. The perfect place, because I was the one Christian friend in my grade. I was it. I had over 300 grads in my grade. I was the only Christian in my grade that I knew. It says 2 verses later, we can pull it up again, Luke 11:36. I love this verse. I went pretty fast there. "If you are filled with light, with no dark corners, then your whole life will be radiant, as though a floodlight were filling you with light." So a floodlight. That's kind of intimidating for me, because when I look back to high school, I thought, man, I definitely did not have a floodlight. Definitely not. Maybe you're like me and you're in high school and you can relate to when I was there. My light was like maybe a dollar store flashlight that was low on battery, that you had to shake and then it would work again. Can some of you relate to that? Like, that's how I was. I was always nervous. When conversation came up, I'd kind of back away. But this verse is saying we should be like a floodlight to our friends. Our life should represent God and who Jesus is, and it should blind our friends in a good way. They should know you're a Christian by what we do. Now, I'm gonna break it down in a little bit, that how this can work for us. You're like, okay, great, man, I've already been doing that. Or like, Landry, I cannot. You have no idea what my friends would say to me. You have no idea. Well, I'm not talking about, this doesn't mean breaking in to the office of the school and jumping on the PA and just preaching the gospel. And then you get tackled by the principal and you get detentions for the month, and your mom is like, why did you do that? You're like, man, this guy Landry from Vancouver, he told me, floodlight. No, you know, maybe, who knows? But I'm not saying that. I think the gospel is so simple that God gives us these situations with our friends that we just need to show him. It says in James that faith without good deeds is useless. So all we need to do is just do good deeds. Like, what does that mean? All we need to do is show our friends. We need to care. We need to love. We need to be genuine. We need to go out of our way. Here's a thought for some of you. Maybe you were like me and a lot of your friends didn't even know you were a Christian. I know for some of you, you're like, oh, yeah, that's me. They're maybe going to ask you tomorrow, hey, what were you up to last night? You're like, cool, I was hanging out with some buddies. Like, well, where? Why didn't you let me know? And you're like, yeah, it was at this, man, there was cool inflatables. Like, well, where? Where were the inflatables? And you just keep beating around the bush. You know? That's what I used to do. I go to a sweet youth conference. Like, where were you? Man, I was away with some friends. It was awesome. Like, man, where'd you go? You wouldn't know it, man. It was this place out in the valley. You wouldn't know it. And I just kept shying away. For some of you, your start line this school year is just saying, like, hey, I'm a Christian. I go to church. I was at youth last night, and it was awesome. How was it? Why was it cool? Man, you wouldn't believe the inflatable we had there. Where was it? At a church? Are you kidding me? And then they're like, what church? And then you tell them your church. And like, could I come with you? Yeah, you should come this Sunday. I'll bring you. I'll pick you up. They're like, you would do that? Yeah, my mom will do that. I don't have my N yet. And then you could go together. Do you see how easy that conversation was? But we're so nervous sometimes. We don't just show it. I was so nervous in high school. And here's the thing. While I'm mentioning myself when I was in high school, I wasted 4 years. And I didn't tell my friends about who Jesus was. And now I'm making up tons of time with those same friends. Because what we got to know, we have the best thing going for us. Who Jesus is, what he did, that's the best thing. And if your friends don't have it, they need it. They need him. They need the purpose we have from God. They need the peace that Jesus brings. They need the hope that only we can get from him. Is that making sense to some of you guys? They need that. Jesus says he comes to bring life and life to the fullest. You can't argue that. Life and life to the full. And some of your friends don't have life to the full. They're struggling through. And you're the person who's going to show them that they can have life to the full. They can find peace and find that hope through Jesus. And you're just going to be doing normal stuff. It's going to come up in conversation. Maybe you didn't go out one night, if you guys in older grades, or maybe you just don't swear. And they ask, why don't you swear? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Come on, there's your chance. Some of you leaders, this is maybe for you too. In your friend group, in your work group, we just buckle every time. Maybe some of you just need to stop being a jerk at school. Just be nice. Show God's love that way. I was on the bus one day. I need to show you how practical this can be. Because sometimes we're stuck as young people. I feel this pressure too, that everything we do, it's like, man, maybe you did something so nice, but that person didn't become a Christian, you know? Or you go out of your way, be like, oh man, I didn't get to pray for them or anything, so it doesn't count. Does anyone ever feel that way? Like we have to have a result to tell our youth pastor? But it's like sometimes we just need to get out and do something nice. So I was on the bus one day in Vancouver, and I was coming back from UBC, and I had a giant box of pizza. Now, for some reason, UBC, this place called Pi R Squared, gives boxes of pizza that are double the size of regular ones. So when I sat on the bus, it was on my lap, but also the lap of the person next to me. Like they're huge. And I was at the back of the bus, and if you've ever been on public transit, like people don't talk to each other then. It's like, why are you talking to me? I'm on the bus. Sometimes like that. I don't know why. This guy gets on the bus, and he goes, and, I don't know if he was for sure homeless, but, man, stuff was going on in his life, and he sits down, and some people kind of get uncomfortable because you're in an enclosed space in those situations, and he goes, man, that pizza smells awesome. And I look up, I'm like, yeah, it does. It was good. It's good pizza. He goes, that's sweet. And I was like, you know what, man? Do you want a piece? Do you want a piece of pizza? And everyone's kind of like, man, that classic bus, public transit. Why are you talking on the bus? And this guy's pumped. So he has a piece of pizza. I just have one with him because I've already had a lot. So both of us are eating pizza on the bus. And then I'm like, hey, bro, do you maybe just have the whole box? Have the whole piece of pizza, the whole box. He's like, what? The whole box. I'm like, take it. And you can just, the aromas are opening up now in the bus. He's pumped on this pizza. He's pumped on it. So he goes, hey, to the person next to him, I got this pizza. You want a piece? Like that. And the person is uncomfortable because they're like, this guy seems a bit sketch, but he's not. And the person's like, yeah, I'll have a piece. So then that person, and then he goes, this other guy, hey, man, this pizza's awesome. You should have a piece too. So then next thing you know, there's 6 of us in the back, all eating pizza, hanging out, and I didn't have to do a thing. I just said, he talked to me first and said, that pizza smells good. I was like, yes, it does. Do you want a piece? Then he started sharing it, and then I was able to go, bro, you're awesome. Man, bless you. I hope the rest of your day goes well. Did I pray for him? Did he become a Christian? No. He did not. But I got to do a good deed. And that the Bible's saying that's all we need to do sometimes. We need to get out there and just show God's love. Just show it. Just by little things. Just by caring for your friend. Just by saying, hey, man, I care for you. Whatever's going on, if they're having a rough time, you're just saying, hey, I'm praying for this situation. Have you ever done that? A friend's going through a rough time and you know they need prayer and you just go, man, that sucks. I'm sorry, bro. And you keep chatting. But what if you went next time, this year, this high school year, you say, hey, I'm praying for you. Or maybe you go even above and beyond that and say, hey, can I pray for you right now in school? Oh my gosh, that would be insane. That's real. That's what we could do. I had a friend, Chris Lay. He started a prayer group in my school. And if you're wondering if I didn't go every time, you're right. And I regret it. But because we have this opportunity, we can be praying for our friends. If you haven't started doing that, that's another practical thing. We can just pray for your friends. Tell them you're praying for them. Pray for them on the spot. Have you ever had a friend, they go, man, I have the worst headache ever. You're like, man, you should have some Tylenol or something. Or what were you doing last night? What if you're like, hey, can I just quickly pray for you? Ugh. Do you feel nervous even me saying that? Imagine in high school, at your locker, 298, and your friends has like, let's just quickly pray. Whoa, that would be awesome. I do that at my work sometimes. It's crazy. And people always say yes. It's so fun. Guys, I think you're put in your high school for a reason with your particular group of friends for you to show Jesus to them. And I think this year, if you haven't been doing it, if you haven't been doing this already in the past years, this year maybe you can start something new. Maybe you can try something for the first time. Maybe you can let them know that, hey, you go to a great youth group and you should come with them. They have inflatables and cool band like The Color. They won't be here next week, but they could be next year. You know what? All the youth pastors are like, yeah, just keep going on that. But come on, for real. If you haven't invited a friend to youth yet, that is your best opportunity. That's just a start. That's how we start doing things like this. That's how we start reaching out, going and doing. Are you seeing that it's not a hard thing? Are some of you getting that? Are you like, man, this isn't, if you're in grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, it doesn't matter. If you're a leader and you're in your workplace or at university, we all can do something like this. I work at a restaurant right now, and it's the Party Scene Central, downtown Vancouver. And I love being there because every day I get this chance to talk to my friends about God. I get this awesome opportunity. I'll tell you about one, like every day. Like on my way here, someone who doesn't know God, when I was about to leave, said, well, what are you talking to them about? Because she has no concept. I said, well, I'm talking to them about God, of course. She's like, what? Really? Like, what do you mean? And I got to explain to her. And those are the chances we get. We don't get them all the time. I have this one friend. It's a sad story, but I'm going to tell you. I had this one friend. I was very close with her at work. Because I think we all get put around people for a reason to share who Jesus is. And this one friend, she needed God so bad. She was hurting so bad, and I didn't know. And we had such a fun time. We'd hang out all the time. Her name was Tiffany. This story is very fresh. And I got a call one day and said, hey, Tiffany is gone. I said, what are you talking about? And they said, Tiffany just killed herself. I said, no way. No way she did. Because I was one of her close friends. I said, because they called me right away. And it broke me. It broke me so much. And I cried. I still mourn over her. But you know the thing that bugged me the most is that I just didn't know where she was going after. I didn't get a chance to sit down with her and fully tell her about God. But you know what? When I was praying about it, I just felt so strongly. God said, you got to show me every day to her. Every day. I got to show her who God was. And here's the thing. I'm not bragging by saying this. She used to tell me all the time. She said, Landry, I've never met anyone as nice as you, as kind as you. And I'm like, inside when she said, I'm like, man, I'm a jerk though. Like, I'm not a nice guy. You guys probably are way nicer than me. And that just affected her life, and I know it did. But maybe you're just a nice person to your friends, and they start thinking about that, and they go, why are they so nice? I don't get it. And they come and ask you, and that's your next move. You get to say, man, and you lead them into a conversation. Tell them about Jesus. So I'm here tonight to encourage you guys. Don't let another high school year go by. Don't let this fall start without being so excited about who God is and what he's done for your life, and not pass that on to your friends. I can end with a story. You ready? It's not a sad story like the last one. It's from the Bible. It's from Mark 2, okay? These 4 guys, these 4 buddies, they have a friend that needs God. He can't walk, and Jesus was in town. Do some of you know the story I'm talking about? Good. These 4 friends, Jesus is in town. They have a 5th friend who needs to see Jesus. He needs Jesus. So they go, we got to get him to him. Have you ever thought about this story? It was a huge crowd. So they had to get their friend who could not walk on a mat through the crowd. That's a lot of work. They're sweating. It's hot. No room in the building. They have to dig through the roof. You know the story? They did whatever it took. The craziest part of this story, or one of them, is that it wasn't even their roof. Could you imagine like digging through someone's roof? And pictured in these days, we can't do that because it's different material. So you need you need a saw. I don't know, I'd bring a jackhammer up just because. And you're just going for it through someone else's roof. Could you imagine doing that? And then maybe one of the friends is like, man, guys, we can't. It's not our roof. I would be that person like, guys, I don't know. No, stop. And then they had to dig a hole in the roof that was big enough to lower their friend down. That's impressive. They did whatever it took to get their friend to Jesus. They dropped him down, and you know the story. Jesus stopped the meeting and he healed their friend. And he said, he told their friend that his sins are forgiven. They did whatever it took, you guys. Because they knew if they brought their friend to Jesus, he'd help their friend. And for you guys, you're in situations right now that your friends need Jesus. And you need to do whatever it takes to get them to him. And I don't know your friends. I don't know your situation. But I can understand and relate because I've been there before and I've been to a lot of youth events. And I know that we all have friends that need God. And whatever it takes for you, like, man, Landry, I don't know. What should I do? Where should I start? I have friends that are hurting. I have friends that could use a word of prayer or something. Maybe it just starts with you bringing them to youth one night. I don't know. Maybe it starts with you, like I said, just saying to them that you care or that you're praying. But it needs to start somewhere. We're all in a different place in this. Like I said before, if you haven't even told your friends that you're a Christian, that's a good start for you right there. But we need to commit together that this school year, whatever grade you're going into, that this is going to be a little different. You're going to make an effort because we got the best thing going for us. And I've tried the other things, and I know this, that what God has for us is the best. His love is the best. His peace is the best. And we need to get that to some of our friends, to all of our friends. I'm almost done. I'm wrapping up here. We're gonna end with a little time of prayer. Because I think some of us really need to commit to this. To go, all right, I'm going to do that. Maybe you've had a rough summer. Maybe you've made some mistakes. Maybe you've had a long couple years. But this year is maybe going to be a change for you. You're going to get serious. You're going to get serious about going to youth group. You're going to get serious about reading your Bible. You're going to get serious about praying and connecting with your leaders. It's going to be a different year. And maybe tonight's just this is a fun night, but there's also a serious element about maybe just reconnecting with God. And maybe, I was talking to John earlier, we wanted to make sure that some of you are like, man, Landry, I'm here, but I'm not quite, you're talking about taking this to our friends, but I'm not even there yet. I don't know what you're talking about. I want to get this peace. I want to get this love. I want to know who Jesus is. Maybe you've heard a lot of this before, and tonight you just want to accept that into your heart for the first time. And that's your big step tonight. And we don't want to look past that tonight. We want to make sure we pray with you tonight as well. So I hope for a few of you, a couple of these points, a couple of these stories just hit home. That we have something that can get to our friends. And it's on you to make it happen. And you're the best at it for your group of friends. You're there for a reason. And whatever step it is for you, you can start tomorrow. Because here's the best thing. We can actually make this, like tomorrow morning is going to be your first chance. Then tomorrow morning, I'm going to be at work too, doing the same thing. And our leaders will be at university or their work. So we'll all be doing this. You have your first chance when your friend goes tomorrow morning, hey, what were you doing last night? That's your first chance to either change how this year is going to go with you and your friends. But I believe in you guys. You can do it. Start off with, man, there was this crazy guy there. And some inflatables. And the coolest band ever. Like where? A church. That's your lead-in, guys. So I'm going to pray. I'm going to first pray with a group of you that's here, that you've heard this all before. But tonight, you want to really get a hold of it. That you've heard about Jesus. You've heard about his love. You've heard about his peace. But tonight is this school year, you want to accept him. You want to say, Landry, I want that. I've heard about it all before. I've come to youth group. Maybe it's your first time here, but I want that peace. I want the hope that you're talking about, that God can bring. I'm going to pray with you. And then I'm going to pray for the second group, and some leaders are going to help me out. We're going to end with a song, I think, right? And then we're just going to pray for some of you. Is that cool? We're going to get a little serious, so don't distract your friends around you, because I think God's doing some cool things in some of their hearts. You don't want to take that away from anyone. So for that first group, if you're here and you want that, you want to pray for the first time and just to accept Jesus, we're going to get everyone just to bow their heads. We're not going to do anything crazy. I'm not going to get you to come up. I'm just going to pray with you, and you can just whisper it under your breath. And I'm going to get you to do something after, to tell a leader after. So let's pray together. You can just repeat after me just quietly. And those that have done this before, you can just be praying for these people that are doing it for the first time. So you can repeat after me under your breath if you want to pray this. Lord, thank you so much that you love me, that you died on the cross for me. You did so much for my life. And I know I've heard this before, but tonight I want to accept it. This year, starting this new semester, I want to accept your love, and I want to live for you. I know that you're real, and I choose to believe in you and live the rest of my life for you. In your name we pray. Amen. So that group that just prayed, I'm going to get you to do something really important. Make sure we're going to have some leaders. I want to make sure you come and chat with them after. And for the next group, John, I don't know how you want to do this. We'll get the band up maybe, and so that the band, you can just roll on up here. Great, you're already here. And I'm going to get some of you that really want to commit to this year, but you want some prayer from your leaders. You want some backing. You want some help, because it's a big step. Saying, I really want to go for it. I want to really commit to who God is and telling my friends and showing the love of God to my friends. I'm going to pray for you, then we're going to get the leaders up after. So if that's you, you know in your heart, I'm not going to get you to do anything. You know that. I'm just going to pray for you. So let's all bow our heads again. Lord, thank you so much for each one here. Thank you for each one that's going into a new school year, that's going into something great, and maybe they don't even quite know it yet. But I just pray for each one that's maybe in their heart that this year is going to be a new year for them in terms of how they live out their faith, how the conversations they have, the decisions they make. I pray courage over them, confidence in you. Fill them up with the wisdom for these conversations, I pray. That even tomorrow morning, that when that first opportunity comes, they'd be able to just show you. They'd be able to be kind or go and do something special for a friend just because you know they love them. So I pray for each one that's going into a different scenario, a different group of friends, that you give everything that they need to them. I pray specifically for some of my friends in here that feel like they've made a lot of mistakes and that they're not worthy of telling their friends about Jesus. That because of the things they've done this summer or last year, they feel that God, you won't listen to them when they're telling their friends, that it won't work. I pray you just take away that insecurity, take away that fear. Know that God wants to use you no matter what you've done. That doesn't matter to him. He forgave those sins. We thank you for that, God.